get some of those beats.
Because
But
J.
Boss
Cole
gets
making
them.
his own beats.
Yeah,
He
okay.
be he be trying to keep all. Look at J. Cole, man. You better flip open his booklet. J. Cole keeping all that money, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. I
This
guess J.
man
Cole
Cole all
ain't J.
through.
Cole ain't J. Cole ain't going for that. No, I mean that makes sense. I guess. I mean, make your money. Make your money. How you make it. You know
Do
what I'm
that
saying? I'm
thing.
not knocking it. I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying, it's just interesting. It's just kind of interesting. Um, Earth Gang got pretty decent beats as well. There's two other cats. Oh, yeah, there's JID.
Yeah.
JID is actually one. It's funny. I talk about Boss and Earth Gang. We could tell we are like a underground esque podcast because we sit here, we're talking about Dreamville, we're gonna talk about Boss, we're gonna talk about Earth Gang, but we ain't gonna talk about like the biggest artists, like besides J. Cole. I think Jid can rap. Now podcast, I know that Renzo will probably try to act. He'll probably try to act like he doesn't not claim the statement, but Jid feels that JID sounds like Magoo from Timberland Magoo. I personally disagree. I think he's a good rapper, but
Hey
we got
man,
we
who
got
said
haters.
who said Magoo was a bad rapper?
Magoo, all right. Listen, listen, listen. This is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say though. This is what I'm gonna say. Timberland and Magoo.
Simply
Back
ain't
before I
Magoo.
knew, back before Timberland and Magoo, first and foremost, there's no way, shape, or form I will ingest Magoo without Timberland. That just makes no sense. Like so, Timberland and Magoo.
No man, it's just
I
Magoo,
remember,
bro. Mr. Magoo.
I remember
Some respect on his
being
name.
in seventh grade and being in homeroom, and no, it was seventh grade. Yeah, it was seventh grade. It was seventh grade. No, it was seventh grade. It was homeroom, and the teachers asked us questions to introduce ourselves for everybody, and we had to name our favorite like music artist, and we went around the room, and the new kid in school, his name was Rod. He was like, my favorite artist is No Limit. I love the No Limit Soldiers, which No Limit just came out and make him say, I just dated
Yes.
myself, whatever, kids. Anyways, um, and everyone was like, oh yeah, he's cool, edgy, street. And I was like, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And my favorite group is Timbaland and Magoo. Bars. Because I had just got the Welcome to Our World CD, and I don't care what nobody says. That is one of my favorite rap albums. Period.
Hey
Like I
man,
have in my little personal Mount Rushmore, I have the Jay-Z's and Nas's and whatever, but Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Magoo. Sorry, man. Like every time I hear "Sock It to Me," that's my shit.
hey
I will
bro,
turn that all the way up.
we all have those albums that do it for us in a way that they do nothing for anyone else. And
I don't like
for
the way
you,
you just said that.
nah,
I felt like you just tried to cop like a light plea for me. Fuck you, Renzo.
man, I didn't try
Fuck
to
you, Renzo.
compliment for you, man.
Super
Look,
Duper Fly was one of the greatest albums of all time. I'm gonna say
bruh, they made great music. Didn't they do Love to Love to Love You?
they did,
This is what I'm saying. Like they made great music.
and they
Like
made Fired Up with Busta Rhymes. Fired
that
Up.
that era of music, like Timberland was killing the game during that time. Like even
Got
all
no
that
love
Aaliyah
though.
shit.
Got no love though. You know the funny thing about it is that Timberland didn't really get love for real until Jay-Z started fucking with him.
Yeah, this is
Like
true.
Timberland was setting shit on fire. It's like people Timberland worked with got love. Like Aaliyah got love, Genuine got love, Missy Elliott got love. But it wasn't until Jay-Z was like, okay, this is the dude, Jigga what Jigga who, that everyone was like, wait a minute, what? You made that beat? Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Well, I mean, Timberland is amazing. I recently watched the Black Album documentary. Watching Jay Z's reaction when they first heard several of those beats, man, and Timberland was really like bouncing and saying, "Look, I told you ain't nobody better than me. I told you they can't do it." And I was thinking, yeah, man, you do what you do really, really well, man. It's not all of them that can make a hot R&B track and a hot hip hop track at the same time, bro.
The problem with Timberland is that he and this is the reason why he'll always live, even though he's like, even I think the Neptunes have basically um, stated that they those Virginia guys they give each other credit, and Pharrell and them they love Timberland just like Timberland loves them, but there's a reason why I feel that Neptune, like Timbaland and Magoo, will always be in the shadow of say a Neptune's, and the reason for that is consistency. I feel that I'm sorry, my fault, guys. I feel that Pharrell and company have always just been more consistent than, of course, um, Timbaland and Magoo, aka Magoo.
Hey man, put some respect on it. It's Mr. Magoo.
No, you're trying to play my nigga. His name is Magoo, aka Magoo. And the reason why I know that because I heard "Welcome to Our World," where Timbaland had the intro beat and he introduced everybody. You know what I'm saying? He
Okay,
introduced
man.
Missy, beep 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 beep, beep 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 beep.
Dang, boy, you really, wow, you're
What?
really there.
What? What,
You're
nigga?
really there.
What?
You're
It
really
is what it
there.
is.
Like you're
It is
really
what it is.
there. Like it takes you to a moment, right? That you're really there.
It's funny because it's funny. The funny thing about it is that me and this other like white kid, I forgot his name in class, were like the only people that really, really fucked with Timbaland and Magoo. And we had the CDs, and it's just like, yeah, man, these are. But to my defense, I didn't understand that what those guys were doing. It was rap, but it wasn't like hip hop. I didn't get
Yeah,
all. I didn't get all done son until I got into high school, and then that's when everything got
that's
real, and I discovered
that's
DMX.
man. I had a very interesting relationship with music growing up. Um, I was in the Tupac. I was already listening to Tupac tapes because they were just sitting around in the second grade and stuff like that. And I remember Bone Thugs and Harmony East 1999
Whew.
being one of my favorite tapes in the third grade.
Second CD I cop.
Boy, that was amazing. But I didn't really understand what I was listening to until I got Jealous One Still Envy, and I was in high school at that point.
That's funny that your first like official rap album is Jealous One Still Envy.
Yeah, man. Really, Christmas.
Like,
I'll never forget that Christmas, man. Like, yo, this got this, explicit. Oh, oh.
and there's a reason why I call it like your first official rap album because you bought it, you understood the lyrics, you were like a true fan. So I would dub that your first official. My first
Yeah.
official was, I'm really gonna say something about me. All right, my first official was two. It was Harlem World by Mace, and then it
No
was
judging here for Harlem World.
and then it was well, I mean, some people listen, I have no problem defending being a Mace fan at the time. I know that Mace has done some corny, has positioned himself
Bro.
as a corny individual, but y'all
Bars.
can't y'all can't take away Harlem World. Y'all can't take away Harlem World. Mace hasn't done enough to take
Erase
away
Harlem
how
World.
dope. Yeah, to
Yeah.
erase Harlem World. Like some people do some shit and go, okay, we have to erase that. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm not saying you are one of those individuals, but like in the past week, 12 play in the R, there might be erased in my catalog. Like I just don't like mentally. I can't. Well, every time I hear those good songs, it's like I hear the other shit too. So I can't do that. Mace hasn't done that, and this is not to shame. Well. Anyways, this is just saying for me, that's how it is. So that, and then Volume 2, Hard Knock. Or yeah, was it Hard Knock Life or Life
Yeah.
and Times
Hard
of
Knock.
Sean?
Hold on. Was it Life? Life?
I
Life?
think it's Life and Times of Sean Carter, Volume 2.
In my life? No.
What's
Which?
Volume 2?
Hold
I
on.
mean,
What?
I don't know because we're doing a podcast. I'm trying to figure out what the official title is. Hold on. We got the Googles right here. We got the Google machine. Talk while I Google this.
All right, but yeah, it's interesting to talk about the moments like your first official visit into hip hop because, like, as soon as you get there, doesn't that shit explode? Like, don't you just start finding all kind of stuff, and that's when you really truly feel like who you find. Well, when you find like who you are in your
Yeah,
musical taste, and then you
yeah,
find out what's popular in your musical taste because in high school is when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. And I remember that next day at school looking around the lunchroom table like, yo, bro, did y'all hear that shit? The hell is Ja Rule gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. So no, it's so In My Lifetime was Volume 1, which is actually a very slept on album, by the way.
Very slept on, man.
Very
Very.
Imaginary Players is one of my favorite songs. Even though sometimes I go back and forth with my Jay-Z stanships. And then, of course, Hard Knock Life.
Anything.
Hard
Hard
Knock
Knock
Life,
Life.
Volume 2. Those are two albums, the first two albums, I think, official albums where I actually listened to the lyrics, listened to everything. And I had a homeboy who originally was from Philly. Really, he was from the suburbs, but he originally was from Philly. And, he had all that cool East Coast stuff. And he's the one that essentially let me I don't know if that was a burn or if that was a cop. I don't know if I copped it. I know I copped it later, but that might have been a burn. But those are the first two albums I paid attention to. And hey, man, yeah, that was it for
Rest is
me.
history, man.
What about you, Doc? What about you?
I'm saying, well, it started
What?
off with the gift of you know what I'm saying, Fat Joe's Jealous One
Jealous Ones
Still
Envy.
Envy.
Who the fuck in Somerville, Georgia, gave you Jealous Ones Still Envy?
My mother, she know what she was doing. She was just getting Christmas gifts. She's like, these niggas need CDs. Give me some CDs. She picked up Master P's Game Face and gave it to my older brother. She picked up Fat Joe's Jealous One Still Envy and gave it to me. Now, my brother might have been disappointed, but I'm like, yo, Fat Joe got bars, nigga.
Is that is that the joint that had John Blaze on it?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it is.
Hold on, let me
Like,
look at it. Let me look at that. Actually, that is honestly one of the greatest.
my
That is one of the.
lifestyle is on it. Y'all wanna live my lifestyle. Never sold
But
a brick, never seen a crack house. What, boy, hey, man.
Jealous One's Envy.
Boy.
John Blaze might be one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. My one. I mean, when you say one of the greatest, I mean, obviously you
Yeah,
don't mean one of
man,
the
yeah, man.
greatest.
Well, we you talking about
But no. It was on the next album. Jealous
what?
One's Envy. Um, it was on the following album
Got you. And
that
what year
had
was
John
that?
Blaze.
Have the year on that?
Oh shit! Hold on.
Cause
Let me
I'll
see.
date myself at this point, man. I feel I'm comfortable
Uh,
in my age, and I'm in my the end of my boxing prime.
yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me visit
Like
the
Pacquiao.
site.
But
It's
and you were talking
Don
about
Cartagena. Don Cartagena was the album that had John Blaze on it.
got you. But you were talking about your favorite Jay Z song. My favorite Jay Z song, for some reason, is Anything. That'll always be my favorite Jay Z song.
Anything is actually a very good song.
Yeah,
1995.
19
1995 is
yes,
when is on again.
1995.
95. Anything is actually a very good song. I can't take away from it. My favorite Jay Z song would honestly be Jigga What Jigga Who, and no one like it's not the street song. He didn't really super lyrically, but the thing that made me like really fuck with Jigga What Jigga Who is Jazz O's. Like first of all, if you actually listen to the shit that Jay Z says on that track, he spits, and then Jazz O's like slight speed rendition at the end. I think
Yes.
I used to have that shit memorized. Remember Jasmine
So
said, "Have you heard of me? Motherfucker like surgery, burn a nigga like a third degree." I forgot. I used to
what
have that
now?
shit memorized.
Let me ask you this question. Now, is your favorite Jay Z verse on your favorite Jay Z song?
No, no.
Okay, obviously not.
My
Then.
favorite Jay Z song is on Reasonable. My favorite Jay Z verse is on Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
My favorite Jay Z verse ain't even on a Jay Z album.
What was the Jay Z verse?
It's on fucking Memphis Bleaks. Is that your chick?
Oh,
Yo,
yes.
Jay Z killed that man. He murdered that song, bro.
My favorite Jay Z verse is on "Bring It On" with, of course, Big
Okay.
Jazz. Okay, Jazzo, A Reasonable Doubt. I think I still remember mannerisms of a young Bobby De Niro, spit Spanish wisdoms in the crib like Panero, crime organized like the. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was crime organized like the Pharaoh.
Hey
I
man,
mean. when I first heard that, I was like, what?